Imagine a shadow in cyberspace, one person, no agency, no army, no home base, who pulls off the biggest heist in the surveillance world. In 2015, that phantom breached a secretive company that sold digital weapons to repressive governments, then unleashed 400 gigabytes of damning proof. It exposed how journalists, dissidents, and activists across the globe were being watched, manipulated, and silenced, all by technology marketed to the highest bidder. This is the story of Phineas Fisher, the vigilante hacker who tore open the dark heart of the surveillance industry. The stage is set. Spies for sale. The 2010s were the dawn of a new kind of warfare. One fought not with bullets or bombs, but with lines of code. Governments realized that instead of sending soldiers, they could send software. Surveillance became the new arms race. In the midst of this growing digital battlefield, one company stood out: Hacking Team, a Milan-based firm that specialized in creating spyware powerful enough to infiltrate almost any device. Their flagship product, the remote control system, allowed governments to monitor emails, calls, and even webcams, turning people's own technology into tools of surveillance. To the public, Hacking Team portrayed itself as a legitimate cybersecurity firm helping law enforcement track criminals. But in private, their client list told a darker story: authoritarian governments, oppressive regimes, and intelligence agencies that use these tools not for justice, but control. Somewhere out there, someone was watching all this unfold and decided to strike back. The break-in, how one hacker took down a kingdom. It began quietly, deep within the company's internal systems. A single overlooked vulnerability, a small crack in the fortress walls, was all it took. The hacker who called themselves Phineas Fisher found it, exploited it, and slipped through. Using standard penetration techniques and clever improvisation, Fisher escalated access and navigated through the network undetected. Within days, they had control. Then came the extraction: internal emails, contracts, government correspondence, source code, zero-day exploits, and private backups. Every secret the company had was suddenly within reach. Then, in July 2015, the world woke up to chaos. A massive torrent appeared online: 400 gigabytes of data from Hacking Team's servers. Their most confidential documents were now public. It was as if someone had flipped the lights on in a room full of spies. The fallout, secrets, and consequences exposed. The leak was explosive. It revealed that Hacking Team spyware wasn't just sold to democratic allies. It had been supplied to regimes accused of human rights abuses. Governments in the Middle East, Africa, and beyond had used the software to monitor activists, journalists, and even opposition leaders. The internal emails showed executives dismissing concerns about ethics or misuse. Their priority was profit. They sold surveillance to whoever could pay, and they had receipts for it all. Security researchers soon discovered active exploits hidden in the leaks, including unpatched vulnerabilities that major tech companies had to scramble to fix. For the cybersecurity community, it was a wake-up call. The tools used by governments to keep secrets were themselves dangerously insecure. And for Hacking Team, it was the end of their empire. Their clients fled, their licenses were revoked, and their reputation was destroyed overnight. The company attempted to rebrand years later, but their credibility was shattered beyond repair. The hacker had done what no government could: expose the world's private spies. The persona behind the alias: hacker, activist, enigma. Who exactly was Phineas Fisher? No one knows for sure, but the name itself was a taunt, a play on Fin Fisher, the name of another infamous spyware suite. Over the years, Fisher released manifestos and hackback guides detailing the motives, methods, and philosophies behind their actions. They didn't just want fame, they wanted to make a point: that hacking could be a weapon for transparency. In a world where power often hides behind encrypted walls and classified files, Fisher wanted to show that those walls could be broken and that the truth could be stolen back. In later years, the mysterious figure claimed responsibility for other hacks targeting powerful organizations, including political parties and police unions. They even offered a bounty, up to $100,000 in cryptocurrency, to anyone willing to expose corruption through public interest hacks. But Fisher never appeared in person. When they finally spoke, it was through a puppet and voice actor in a controlled video interview, turning the hacker into something larger than life, a digital ghost that could never be caught. Hash what changed and what didn't. The hacking team hack was more than a cyber attack. It was a moment of reckoning for the entire surveillance industry. It forced journalists, governments, and citizens to confront uncomfortable truths about how much power technology companies truly held, and how easily that power could be abused. For the first time, the secret trade in zero-day exploits and government spyware was laid bare. It became impossible to deny that entire markets existed for buying and selling vulnerabilities, digital weapons designed to infiltrate our most personal devices. The leak sparked debates about the ethics of hacking, the limits of privacy, and the moral gray area between activism and crime. Some hailed Phineas Fisher as a digital Robin Hood, a hero who used code to expose corruption. Others called him reckless, claiming their actions endangered lives by exposing sensitive information. But one thing was undeniable: the world was paying attention. Even years later, surveillance technology has evolved, becoming more subtle and invasive. Governments and corporations still race to outdo one another in the pursuit of information dominance. But the ghost of Phineas Fisher still lingers, a reminder that the watchers can also be watched. Why this story still matters. We live in a world where our phones, messaging apps, and smart devices are always connected and always listening. Every camera, every sensor, every Wi-Fi signal can be a doorway. The same tools once built for governments are now in the hands of private firms, hackers, and criminal networks. The boundary between espionage and abuse has never been thinner. Phineas Fisher's act wasn't just a hack, it was a declaration. A statement that even in a digital age dominated by secrecy and control, one individual could still make a difference. It wasn't a crime spree. It was a disclosure campaign, turning classified knowledge into public truth. It reminded the world that technology is never neutral. It serves whoever holds the power to control it. And sometimes those walls of control crumble from within. So if you're watching this, remember, you are part of a world that can be watched. Every new device, every update, every connection adds another thread to the web. The fight for privacy isn't over. It's just moved underground, into the code, into the shadows. Because every time surveillance tools evolve, every time exploits are traded, and every time someone asks, who guards the guards? The answer might just be another ghost in the machine. Stay curious, stay skeptical, because in the shadows of code, the story is never truly over.